Hello everyone and welcome to the hands-on demo on AWS cost and usage reports. So in this demo, we will create an S3 bucket. We will create a cost and usage report. We will select S3 bucket which we have created in step first as a destination to store these cost and usage reports. We will enable Athena integration for querying. We will create necessary databases and tables in Athena. We will run some sample queries related to cost and usage, and finally we will clean up all the resources. So this is the demo overview. So here we have cost and usage report. So we will configure cost and usage report. Cost and usage report stores all the reports in S3 bucket. So once the reports are in S3 bucket, we can use Amazon Athena to query the data. Then Amazon Athena under the hood actually uses AWS Glue for your databases and tables. So first step is to create an S3 bucket. So I'll copy the cost and usage reports bucket name. I have logged into AWS console home and I will search for S3. I will open this in a new tab. Click on create bucket and paste the bucket name. So this name is already taken, so I will just add a 2 at the end and click on create bucket. So that will create the bucket, and next we will create a cost and usage reports. So I will call this my first report as detailed cost analysis report. So here the bucket is created, and now I go to the console home and search for cost and usage. So you will see cost and usage reports comes under billing and cost management. It's a feature of billing and cost management. So this is the welcome screen. So you can just read through it, analyze your cost and usage. You can monitor your reserved instances, and then you can use AWS usage report. And under that you have some couple of options, but there are no reports, so you will not see anything. And under billing and cost management, these are the different. We have already seen the AWS budgets, and then we have seen this option. Then we have some other things like billing conductor and cost explorer. And you have savings plans and reservations. So next we will create the report. So click on create report. I will paste the name, and you can add, you can check this include resource IDs, split cost allocation data. So this will give you more granular information about your cost and usage reports. So basically all AWS resource have IDs, so it will log or track the resource IDs as well. And then you have, so this will include detailed cost and usage for shared resources for cost allocation. And these resources are primarily used for cost allocation and are not available in billing or invoice report. So include this resource introduces new rows and columns in the cost and usage report and might increase file size, but that's okay, because you can have more, you can drill down more into what component are consuming what cost. And just select refresh automatically. Click on next. Next we will have to choose a configure S3 bucket. So we will choose a S3 bucket. So just pick the one which we have just created. So browse S3, and I will pick this particular cost and usage reports. Click on save, and then it will apply a bucket policy to this particular bucket. So basically what it's saying, that this particular service billing reports has access to this particular S3 bucket. So it will apply this bucket policy. Click on save, and now it needs a S3 prefix, which is a required value. So I'll take the prefix value and I will call it cost and usage reports. And report data time granularity. Choose the time granularity for how you want the line items in the reports to be aggregated. So we are saying hourly basis. And report versioning, you can select the default, create new report version, and you can have report data integration. So just you have the three options: Redshift, QuickSight, or you can have Athena. So in this case I will just select Athena. And when you select Athena, it will just disable other fields, and Athena is automatically, it will goes to So let me just unselect it. So it will automatically go to overwrite existing report. And Athena, so by default it will save it as a Parquet snappy file format. So click on next, and you can just review all the values that you have provided and click on create report. So this will say report created successfully, and in the next 24 hours your first report will be delivered to the Amazon S3 bucket you configured during the report creation. So at this point this report is created, but it will take some time for data to be generated, and it will also give you the S3 bucket, and it will give you the sample schema to create the tables. So if I go to the S3 buckets and if I go inside, so it has just you can see AWS programmatic access test. So this has created an object whether it can access this bucket or not, but there are nothing at the moment. But I will be using another AWS account to continue from this point onwards. So we have seen till here. Next I will showcase the SQL statement. So I'll switch to another account where I have the S3 bucket. So if you wait for 24 hours you will see. So this is my another account where I have already done the step 1. So I come to cost and usage reports, and there will be a folder called cost and usage reports and detailed cost analysis report. This is the prefix that we gave, and inside that it will give you some object like SQL. So this SQL, if I download, so this SQL I have already downloaded. So I'll just showcase that the schema that it will give you to create the Athena table for querying. So this is how it looks like. So this will be given by the service itself. So it will create external table and detailed cost analysis report and detailed cost analysis report. So only thing which I had to do was to table name does not accept hyphen, and only thing when you are doing, just make sure you replace all hyphen with the underscores, and here also just replace hyphens with the underscore if it is present, and then you can copy the whole table as it is and create this table. So I'll showcase that part. So if I come here and now I have to go to Athena, so I'll just pick the queries one by one. So we have seen this SQL statement. So first step is to create database if not exist. So I'll copy this whole thing and come to Athena. So for this I'll just showcase. So you just search for Athena, click on Athena, and you will be shown this particular Athena console, and you can select the data source and you can have the databases. So this database already exists, but nonetheless I can run this query because there's a if not exist clause. So run this query, so it will create the database. So it is successful. Next I will create the table. So this is the whole query. I will copy it from the next screen. So I just made it in one line so that it does not like go beyond the screen. So I'll copy the whole. So this table also I have put create external table if not exist. So I come here and paste the whole query. I will just collapse it so we have more space, and I will click on run. So this query was successful. So it has created the table. So once the table is created, what we can do is we just have to run this command, so that because there are two partitions in the schema. So I'll just showcase you that. So they are partitioned based on the year and month. So we run that metastore check command for repair table command for it to actually identify the partitions. So I'll copy the whole thing and copy the run the command. So this command is necessary. You have to run it once. So it is completed successfully, and now also you can use this command to see the partition. So take the command and run this, so it will showcase all the partitions. So because I just started, it will showcase, so it will organize everything by month and year. So next month it will be like different folder and there will be a year. So I'll just showcase that. So in the bucket, it looks something like this. So if you come here and if you go to the detailed cost analysis report, so you will see year, and so next month there will be a different folder, and then inside that there will be snappy Parquet file which will hold all the that month's data about cost and usage. Okay, moving on, then we have seen the partitions, and if you want to see how the table was created, you can just run this command. So I paste that, and this will give me that how this table was created. So this was the complete SQL, and next we will run few commands which will make sense to us. So first is daily cost by service. So this will give us daily cost by service with the service name, and this is the first is select statement to analyze daily AWS service cost, then extract data from timestamp and alias as usage data. So we select the data date and as usage date, a line item product code. So you can just read through the comments. So it will get the AWS service code, for example EC2 Amazon S3. Then it will get the human readable AWS service name by this particular product and product name. Then it will sum the unblended cost and round to 2 decimal places through this thing as daily cost. Then it will get the currency used for billing, which is pricing currency as currency. And from this particular table, where line item usage start date and end date, so within 30 days, and line item unblended cost more than 0, and it will group by column number first 3 and 5 and order by first and 4. So if I just take the whole command, it will make more sense. So I come here and paste the first command. So click run. So it is showing based on the daily cost, so descending from highest to lowest. So I can see on 1st November I had this much of spending, right? And these are all the columns, so they are nothing horizontally. I cannot scroll horizontally because we are asking for 5 columns and we are arranging. So I can see this EC2 EVPC. These are the daily cost and what was the how much it was spent. So on 1st November I can see highest was EC2, and then on next is VPC. So this may be probably in some other region, so that's why it has a separate entry. Okay, next query that we will see is top 10 costly resources. So this will give me the top 10 costly resources with resource description and region. So this start with select statement to identify the most expensive AWS resources. So first we'll get the AWS resource identifier using this column line item resource ID. Then we'll get the AWS service code. For example, it could be EC2 S3. Then product and product name, which will be like human readable AWS resource service name. Then get the detailed description of resource usage. Then get the AWS region where the resource is deployed, and then sum the unblended cost and round to 2 decimal places. Then get the currency used for the billing, specify the table containing the cost and usage data through this from, and finally there is a where clause where line item resource ID not equal to filter for usage in the last 30 days. So we are just picking last 30 days, and line item unblended cost greater than 0. So it will go from that date till last 30 days. So previous query was also same. Then group by, these are the columns. So actual table has huge number of columns, but we are picking up few columns. And then we are ordered by total cost descending, and limit up to only limit the 10 most expensive resources, and copy the query. Okay, and next I will just keep this query here, and I can open a new tab here only and paste the whole query and click run. So this will give me the top 10 most expensive services. So first one is NAT gateway, and it is part of EC2, and product name is Elastic Compute. Okay, same EC2, and how much was spent. So total cost, you can see maximum in this month I have spent on NAT gateway $1.35, then $0.57, on VPC service. And next is so probably there will be some egress cost or egress cost, I think, outgoing cost. Then third one is EC2, and again EC2 some other type, so it is also giving you based on the type also. And finally again another NAT gateway. So these are different resource ID, and this was basically the public IP address allocation, and these are the separate two different EC2 instance ID. So this has given me the top 10 services on which I spent money. Next I will so I'll just continue. So this command is EC2 daily cost. So again same thing, it will give me the EC2 daily cost. So select statement to analyze daily EC2 instance cost by type and region. Then extract date from timestamp and alias as usage data. So we have seen product instance type and then the region, then sum the unblended cost and round to 2 decimal places. And here you can see where clauses, specifically Amazon EC2. Again we are going up till current date till minus 30 days, and we are grouping by 1 2 3 4 5 these column numbers. So if I copy the whole thing, it will make more sense, and I will run this in a new tab and click run. So these are so based on the date, this is how much I spent on EC2 specifically. Okay, moving on, we just have one last query, which is total cost by service. So this will give total cost with product details and usage matrix. So first is select statement to analyze total AWS service cost. So we get the AWS service code, then we get the human readable AWS service name, then we get the AWS region, then we sum the unblended cost and round to 2 decimal places, get the currency, count unique resources used within each service, count unique AWS accounts using each service, then sum total usage amount and round to 2 decimal places, get the unit of measurement for usage. For example, it could be GB, the usage, or the time, and specify the table containing, so from filter for specific year. So in this I am just taking the whole month. Only include records with actual cost which is greater than 0, and group by service identifiers, region, currency and usage unit. We are grouping and order, then just arrange by total cost from highest to lowest. So copy the query, come here and paste the query and click on run. So here I can see again EC2 comes on the top. So I have total spent maximum on EC2, then VPC, and this is again EC2. So let me see. Okay, this is some other instance ID, and then VPC again, and finally again EC2. So usage unit is slightly different. Here is on GB. So these are the 4 queries. So among all these four queries, I think total cost by service, and probably you can track top 10 costly resources. So usually in enterprise setup, because they have, cost can go into millions and maybe a couple of millions and few million dollar. So usually they have some kind of dashboard where they will plug in their dashboard or visualization tool with this kind of queries. And these queries, because they will update the dashboard on a continuous basis. So usually business analytics analysis guys will actually compare and try to optimize the cost based on these kind of metrics. And that's all. So finally I will clean up the resources. So I just have to delete the cost and usage report. So I come here and go to the cost and usage reports. So this is the S3 bucket. So here, and select the report name and click on delete. So the report is deleted. Next I just have to delete this particular bucket. So I go to the buckets, select the first select the bucket and click on empty. Copy paste the permanently delete and empty, and click on exit. Finally just select the bucket name and click on delete. So copy the name of the bucket and click on delete bucket. And that's it. And that's all. Thanks for watching.